How you doing, YouTube? This is Richard Way, and my channel is Zerod101. Today I want to tell you a story about DM versus PC. I've got a couple of stories that kind of fit that mold. The first one I've nicknamed the DM R.R. Martin, because everybody dies. At least the early stuff, right? So we have we joined this new game with an online DM, and it's a full group. There's 7 of us. I've never met any of these people before. I'm just joining for the first time. And so there's these 2 characters that I really enjoyed playing with in this game. They decided to do a kind of a twin backstory where they were these academy researchers from a magic library. So they're both wizards. They both take like the sage background, and they're both librarians. Now their backstory is that they've lived this boring life in this magical world, and they want to see the world. They want to face the monsters that they've read about, and they just want to experience life, kind of that macabre ride that you take, that some people take when they hear that they're going to die. So that's the thought process behind these 2 characters, which I thought was a great backstory, and it was really fun to kind of see where they would go with it. So this is the first session with these 2 characters. They've already made a name for themselves in the first battle we were in. We fought a couple of greenskins, goblins, kobolds, that kind of thing, and they immediately wiped the floor with them with their cantrip spells. And it was fun to hear their banter and their role play while they were working, through that stuff. I was playing this half-orc barbarian in this particular campaign, and the DM was really strict on stats, like 3d6, that's it. What you rolled is what you got, even if it was bad. I didn't have completely terrible luck. I had like an 18 and I had a 17, so I did roll good on a couple of rolls. But then my next highest was 10, and my lowest was a 5. So, I did get shafted for my rolls, but he told me I had to stick with it. I decided I'd make a dumb barbarian and just do my dump stats in anything charisma, wisdom, or intelligence based with my terrible stats. And I decided not to worry about dex and just pull a strength and con barbarian that wore armor. That way I didn't even benefit from my unarmored defense. But, I played the stats that I was handed. So it hasn't come apparent to me at this point how much DM versus PC that this DM was. And it the next encounter revealed how much DM versus PC it really was. He threw us against a ghost. Now, mind you, we're level 1. I think the highest person in the group is a level 2. And they throw us against a wraith and a ghost at the same time. There's 7 of us, so it's not a terrible encounter, except for the ghost is pretty unforgiving for low-level characters. It's got this ability called Horrifying Visage. It is a DC 13 spell. If you fail by 5 or more, the DM rolls a d4, and it's a d4 times 10 how many years you age. Well, the 2 older characters, they played 65 plus as far as their age and human. The DM rolled a 4, so they aged 40 years, which would have made them 105, so the characters were dead. No way to bring them back. They just, boom, gone. No death saving throws, nothing. There's no way to heal through that. They just die. And the DM's like, 27! And 27 what? 27 characters that I've killed in the past 3 weeks, including this week so far. I was kind of taken aback by the GM boasting, such a number, and being proud of killing that many characters in technically 2 weeks plus the start of this session for 2 more. So the twinsies decided that they weren't going to bother rolling up a new character, and they just left the game, left the Discord. He invited 2 more people to take their place, and so now we're a full group again. We get introduced to their characters, and we move on through the story a little bit longer. And then we chase this witch or hag, I'm not sure what it was, through some cave systems because they were stealing child. Mind you, hag's really out of the level 1's range, but that's all it's left. Is the 1 level 2 and 6 level 1s, but we're not thinking CRs as far as characters go. We're thinking this is the DM's plot hook. This is more of less, if that type of travesty is happening, we want to fix it as our players. So all of us chase the hag or witch into the cave systems, and as we are delving deeper and deeper into this cave, goblins from above us chuck rocks down on us. And the DM has it where they're chucking it from 100 feet above us. And these rocks have unerring accuracy, especially for the amount that they're throwing. And one of us gets hit, takes 10d6 from the rock, immediately killing a level 1. I mean, even rolling minimum damage, that kills a level 1. All of us got hit, all of us dead, complete TPK. He's like, 34! And at this point, all 7 of us had died. He decided that he was going to pause the session while he rolled new characters. I declined and stepped out of the game. So, if any of you guys had a DM like that, I would really like to hear in the comments below if you've had a game similar. So that kind of DM PC, DM versus PC is one story that I have. I have another one that's not quite that similar, but I'll share it too. So we've got a group of friends of mine back in a different edition. It was 3.5, not 5e. We are having a hard time finding a DM. But we find this guy who's looking for players, so we join the group. So it's me and 4 other of my friends and this new DM that we really haven't run with before. So his stat schema was 46, drop the lowest. Not too bad. One of our players ends up getting just these amazing rolls. He's got 15 for his lowest stat, and he's got 3 18s. He is super stoked to play whatever character he rolls up at this point. His stats are amazing. The lowest person in the group, excluding myself, had a 12 for their lowest stat. So the rest of my friends could roll up anything they wanted, and we were kind of conversing of what type of group we wanted to play. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my stats. I'm like, sorry guys, I don't have anything that I can honestly bring to the table with my stats the way they are, and to be useful to this group. I will be a detriment. So let me talk to the DM. Let me see what we can work out, and I'll decide from that conversation. Yeah, my friend's like, sure, go ahead. So I approach the DM and I hand him my stat rolls. He looks them over. He says, "Yeah, that's what you rolled. That's what you need to play." Can I play a monster race? Nope. PHB races only. Classes out of the PHB. This is what you need to play. This is what you roll. So I sit down and start kind of running over what I can play. I had my heart set on playing a paladin for that particular run, but my stats were not good enough for that. So I start just trying to think of, with these stats of how bad they are, what I honestly could play. Well, my stats are bad enough where I don't want to play melee. And my stats are bad enough where I can't cast spells. So, I'm really at a loss. There's nothing I can play, except for maybe a rogue, but I don't qualify for any of the feats that make a rogue work. I don't qualify for anything to make a ranger build viable. So, I sit down and I'm going to start with a backstory. So, I drew up this elaborate backstory of me being the cursed child of this noble family, that my mother and father, with their business dealings, offended a powerful sorcerer, a powerful wizard, and they cursed my family to have me, their only male heir. And I delve into, just the situation of how they were cursed and family holdings and whatnot. And I use a lot of the lore out of Sword Coast region, Faerun. So I actually have a noble title that most DMs who study those books could latch onto and recognize as a decent backstory. And then I drew myself up a sorcerer. I took my highest stat and I put it into my charisma, which would give me better spellcasting abilities, although my highest stat was an 8, so it really didn't matter. And I took my lowest stat and I put the lowest stat into my constitution. Now, in 3.5, the sorcerer's constitution hit dice was a D4. He took max at first level. Well, I put a 3 in my constitution modifier, which basically means a -4 for my starting health. So D4 taking a max health would net me 0 health total, so my character was born dead. I figured this was a good way to get around of making a character that I couldn't play at the table, so I could just reroll. So I hand the DM this about 2 pages of backstory and my born dead sorcerer, and the DM's like, "Get out! You can't follow my rules. You can't play at my table." And at this, all of my friends that went to the game with me started packing up. And DM's like, "Why are you guys leaving? I'm not kicking you guys out." Well, they're like, "If you're going to be that unreasonable, because those stats are really unplayable in this edition, then you're going to be that unreasonable during other gameplay and other issues that will come up later, and that's not the type of game that we're looking for. We're all here to have fun. We're all here to play some sort of hero." And even according to the book, those stats should definitely be rerolled. Page 13 on the PHB. And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm the DM. You have to do what I say." No, we can choose not to play. So they all got up, and we found a new DM a week later. But yeah, I haven't had any DMs like that, at least within a year, which is pretty good. So yeah, if you've got any stories that are similar, or the very DM versus PC dynamic, I'd love to hear them. Go ahead and leave them in the comments, and like and subscribe. And hopefully see you soon with future videos. Have a great day.